for you, how many shells does your Mossberg hold?
I got an 8 shell Mossberg.
Okay, so you going off and on slug buckshot,
Little
slug
buckshot.
buckshot.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the one I saw, let me if I can pull it up for you. What I was looking at, it holds 15 and it can get up to 20,
Right.
right? Now the one I
Yeah.
was looking at, I don't think it's on this phone, it might be on the other phone. Let me see. But yeah, it has a cartridge to it, and then the other one I like, you hold it like you know hold I forgot like the M16, but you putting the rounds
Yep.
into the barrel. You know what I'm talking about? And
Right.
they
Yeah, I know what
stock
you're talking
into
about.
the yeah they stock into the barrel. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. I was looking at the Ruger 57.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Canceled it.
I
Mm,
think that is kind of crazy. Illinois, one of them states where they
canceled.
violate people's rights by restricting the way legal gun ownership work.
For sure, but they supposed to because they're not interested. Give us a certificate of registration. They're not interested in you having any rights as far as your First Amendment, your Second Amendment, or any of those. So
Yeah.
they really are more so interested in keeping you away from ownership of guns, territory, property, territory, land, or anything like that. That's why even though you may you may own property, you still pay a leasing. You still pay a
There,
monthly tax on it,
there's
right?
no there's no there's no real ownership. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
There's no real ownership. It's all a facade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why taxation is so high in Illinois.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And for me, let me see, my card is empty. What can I do? Bear with me, because I had a list, unless it's on the other phone. But there's a list of things that I had. Um, Maybe I should just try putting it back in. And he told me to go ahead and he said like get the air pistols and everything. I was like, I don't really want the air pistol, And he's like, for now, just get it. I'm like, you know what I'm interested in. You know what I want.
Right.
5 round. That Kel-Tec, that's what it is. The Kel-Tec. One
Yeah.
of them holds like 10 rounds, and then the other one holds up to like 14 to 16 rounds.
Right.
That's the one, yeah, that's what definitely, yeah, that's one I was interested in. Um, because once I load that mug up, I don't ever want to have to go back and count. You know what I'm saying? Like once it's loaded up, like for me, that's just it. Like I'm
Right.
not interested in the Kel-Tec. Yeah, the Kel-Tec 14 round. Yes,
I
sir.
think
So
that
you
the
charge
way
them while you
yeah,
right in there, barrel. Yeah.
I think the way like things is looking on some real shit, I'm of the impression like we so like as a nation we so fucking uh comfortable. We've been cold. We've been kind of like stripped down to our basic desire to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That people don't really understand that we're in a state of emergency at all times right now.
Yeah,
You
and
know
it's
what I'm
and
saying?
it's best to be aware of not just what they're doing, but to be aware of your environment, who you know, who you can depend on, and then on top of that, get ready for some type of strategy. You should have a type of strategy just in case things
Yeah,
go wrong, because these people don't care about you, they don't care about me, they don't care about nothing that's really going on out here. The main
bees in the
goal
hive,
is
bro. Bees in the hive.
That's it. Their main goal is to take care of themselves and take as many rights away as they can. So that's where we are with that. And it's been that way, and it's gonna always be that way until we find a way to fight back, which I don't think will ever happen, bro. I think it'd be more of a situation where we'll have to stick it to them in the midst of them trying to run us
Right.
down, you know.
Yeah. It's it's an interesting day and time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I be
But
telling people
it
all the
ain't
time.
no,
They be
it ain't
talking
nothing
about, oh,
bigger
the
than
government this and government that. I'm like, bro, you can't be worried about what the government gonna do is the government gonna do. The only thing you can
yeah.
do is take care of yourself. All this worrying about nigga shit and all this other shit that's happening. Like if you ain't worried about your craft and your hobbies, all that other shit don't even matter.
Yeah, you gotta, and people so used to being told what to do that they don't know what to do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They're not thinking from a self-preservation perspective unless they be in survival mode. I think that living in survival mode is dangerous anyway, when you got all the tools right there in front of you to kind of like get you prepared. You know what I'm saying? What they say, proper preparation prevents piss poor
Fifth,
performance.
yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
So you kind of got to like just be aware, man. People just so used to like uh gathering all their opinions and views from social media. I just saw somebody post a video and a lot of people was commenting on it. I don't even know if the comments was all bots, but I know that the individual, I know the person, the individual personally who posted this video, who it was a female cop trying to arrest this black dude,
Mm,
and he picked up his child to kind of you know what I'm saying, I guess to 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 shield himself. And everybody around him was like, put the child down. And I'm looking at the video like this, obviously AI. And
okay.
how I could tell it was AI is because how his hair was moving and shit like that. His dreads was moving. You know what I'm
You can
saying?
tell by the
How
voices too.
how his shadow was moving, stuff like that.
Yeah,
But everybody was like, you know what I'm saying, talking about how, you know what I'm saying, just it's really just to stoke emotion, try to get people, you know what I'm saying, riled up and
that's
shit like
it.
that, to feel some kind of way. But again, we at that day and age now where it's like a lot of stuff, the line is getting blurred. And you got to be a little bit more discerning when it comes to like what you allow to trigger your emotions.
So the other one I was looking at was the Mossberg 590M, and that's the one
Right.
that they got like the clip, the extended clip. So you can get that 5, 10, 15, or 20. So I was looking at that one as well. But you know,
Hmm.
I ain't never been much of the shotgun guy. I'm more of the artillery, the rifles, you know what I'm saying? I'm more of
Rifle.
a car yeah, I'm
Right.
more of a carbon guy. You know what I'm saying? When I come out, I dumb out the way that I'm supposed to, and all hands on deck from that point on. So
Right.
I still gotta stock up on stuff like that. But like I said,
I think it's important to have.
it just takes me some time to get everything together. It's just getting a new job. I'm gonna move, bro. There's things I need to do ahead of time. So I know ahead of time what it is I'm looking for and what I want.
It's important to have one of each anyway,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Mm-hmm.
now. Uh, I just know that, and I be having this
Mm-hmm.
conversation with my kids all the time. How like living out here, they get to see firsthand how like these Caucasians raise their kids. They train their kids, teach them how to use and respect guns, how to clean them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The differences between them, shit like that. They go
Yeah.
hunting, shit like that. They go fishing. So they kind of like they understand the mechanics.
Yeah.
When you grow up in an inner city, and you grow up in a metropolitan city with when the politics ain't necessarily supporting that type of mentality,
You don't
everything
learn all
comes
that.
down to why didn't you call the police? The police this, the police that, the police, and people almost forget that the police ain't here for us. They're here for the infrastructure.
Yeah, they're not here to protect you. They're here to observe the like what you just said, the infrastructure, what's already going on. Their job is
Right,
never to make sure that you come out on this thing inside of this thing rosy. Their job is to
right.
make sure if you slip in any manner of the law and we get a hold of you, we get your ass
Yeah, they law
tucked
enforcement.
away.
That's it.
Yes,
They're
I
here
am
to
here to
enforce the law.
enforce the law. That's it. Did you violate the law? Yes, I did. You gotta you gotta go with us. That's it. That's why I do my best to try and stay out that way because I want nothing to do with that. I don't want nothing to do with the justice system ever. And when I have had the times to do it or be involved and don't want to be there, is always to have proper representation and have your ducks in a row. That way, if you
Right.
make a mistake, you got everything together. That's all that
Exactly.
matters. Yes, indeed.
Real shit.
Man, salute, brother. What's been going on with you, man? Everything good?
I'm good, bro. I was talking to Foon. We've been
Mm.
back and forth in the inboxes, talking and stuff like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
was telling him like what's been going on with the squad and how you know what I'm saying time passed, and he was just asking about the music and shit like that. And I told him, I said, you know what I'm saying,
The
there's a
music
lot of
ain't
work
stopped.
still being done. You know what I'm saying? Smitty still putting out work, still cooking. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I got some shit on the burner. I remixed a bunch of shit that we got that I want to just go ahead and dump out there. I want to put it out there because ain't no use in sitting on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a couple songs that you did. I remember when we was like compiling for your project a couple years ago. few years ago, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I gotta do more though. I need to do more because the last couple of years the way things are going have been ineffective, and I need to get back to a complete place of productivity. So sliding out Smitty way
That's
and
how it is
sliding
with
out,
me.
yeah, sliding out Smitty way and sliding out your way is the best way to really do that and complete the mission because it ain't gonna happen where I am
Right,
now. It's like the environment is like weird and shitty. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't really get anything accomplished the way that you want to. You
right.
know?
Yeah, and that's really where I'm at. Like, because I got a beat tape complete, and I got
Mm-hmm.
like two more verses before I complete this album, and and that should be ready to go. And then, of course, our CME project, just trying to keep that, trying to make it as dope as it can be, where I don't want to overthink it. I try not
Yeah.
to listen to it because I don't want to
Yeah.
overthink it. But when I go back and listen to what I am working on, I want to make sure that because I feel like lyrically the shit is there. I just think the sonics of it, the sound, the beats could use a little bit more work.
Yeah.
I know that, you know what I'm saying, there's a big transition in terms of like what I had going on personally and shit like that.
So
Kind of
when
like
so is there a theme or a sound that you're going for? Or is it just the way that you have it set up, like you have the key in on your mixing and mastering of the actual?
just the mixing and the mastering of
Okay,
it, changing some of the
got
drums,
you,
stuff like that.
got you.
Because like the overall scope of it is a dope project. You know what we did with it. You know what I'm saying? The concepts. But I think the vision could be more robust, more realized.
Hmm.
And that's really what I'm trying to do, trying to make it sound more cohesive.
Yeah, and the other thing, if you talk about the project, I think you're talking about when we did that, we did that so hard, like everything. It seemed like everything was relative to what's going on now, and it still is. Like that
Right.
project. If you're listening to that project and you listening in the right mind state or any mind state, really, you should be able to pick up on what's going on. Like it's relevant to any and everything that's going on. But the only thing is the cohesion of it, and maybe bro, there's like two or three songs that really might be missing in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm really thinking. I think like subject matter wise, I think
Mm-hmm.
like if we could really like just hammer out a few more joints to kind of like bring it more into the current.
Yeah, I think it's so more stuck into that. Hey, like this is fucked up out here that we not rounding it out about how fucked up it is. And bro, it may end up being a whole LP if like we really get a hold of it and really do it. But it's we capturing what's fucked up, but we are not also to me, there could be a situation where we grasp the inner workings of our neighborhood, not just the police and the politics of it, but the inner workings of it, all the street shit and the actual environment, encapsulating that, and then
Right.
bringing some outside element and having that around it as well. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we captured every bit of that on that project. Even
And
if it
that's
was
where
like
I'm
a
at with
part
it.
two, like maybe a part two would do that some justice.
That's what I was thinking as well. Like, because I think if we just go ahead and pull the trigger on what we got, we could always round it out with like another chapter to it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
We that's always a thing. It ain't like we at the mercy of a record label that, you know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying, where we got to meet some sort of deadline and shit like that. But at the same time, like we are getting older, you know what I'm saying? We got like more perspective, we got more life experience, we got
Mm-hmm.
more there's just a lot more information. We got, you know what I'm saying, so much.
Yep.
Dude, I don't even go to
We seen another president get in this bitch and everything.
yeah, twice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff that came in and changed a little bit. So I would say, why not? And I'm with it. I was talking to AGK like a week and a half ago about the same thing.
I
He
need to
been in
reach
and
out
out of
to him
surgery and
too.
shit because he had abdominal surgery and shit
Mm.
because he had tore his abs on the job.
Trying to lift and everything, huh?
Yeah, and fucked up his elbow too.
Yeah, doing too much. Doing too much,
Yeah,
soldier. You do your job, ate and escape, brother. Doing
yeah,
anything unnecessary or more than what you're supposed to that cause you some strain or become strenuous activity.
yeah.
They do not reward you for that. They will
Yeah,
never reward you for that.
these corporations only care about the bottom line, bro.
Hmm.
You know what
They will
I'm saying?
move you, me, and anyone else in and out as soon as they can, as soon as you do
Yeah.
something like that.
we're all interchangeable parts now. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir. Cogs in the wheels. So you got to be careful of that, brother. My G, AGK, love you, brother. Salute to
Or
you. Salute to you. And the rest of the four finger set. Tennessee, stand up. Memphis, Clarksdale, Shelbyville, Germantown, all that, everywhere.
Chattanooga, Knoxville,
Chat, yeah,
Murfreesboro.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The whole Tennessee.
yeah, all
I was
of
gonna
it.
take a trip down there, probably in a couple months. Let's go down there and probably get up with Walter Lee.
Word.
Let's see if we can sit down and cook up something. Just trying to be productive. It's like I'm at
That's
this stage
it.
in my life, bro. I
That's
just got to be
it.
productive.
That's it, bro. That's all I want. I just want to be productive. It don't matter how much productivity. I just want to be as productive as possible. It don't matter about the money that may come in from it. I don't care about that. I just want to be productive. I'm
Right.
this part, like rounding it out and getting things together for myself and moving and getting everything together. All right, cool. But I need to get back to being productive. I haven't been a part of any youth initiative. I haven't done any of the things that actually matter. Any of the things that actually mean something. Anything that's actually tangible to me and that considers lets me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in my lane. I haven't done any of that stuff. And those are the things I need to get back to. You sent me the beat. The only reason I haven't had time to really sit down with that beat, bro, and I listened to it like two or three times, maybe four, is because I got back into the mode of doing a podcast, right? So I started doing the sports section of it, right? We out here, me and that brother Keith Too Tall, we out here doing the sports part of it, right? Then we
Right.
go from doing the sports part of it to me jumping back and saying, yo, I gotta get more artists back on my podcast. And then someone go, yo, do you realize that you are actually a hip hop journalist? I was like, no, I'm not. He's like, no, you are, bro. You have crossed over into the realm of not just being a podcaster, but you are a
Hip hop
journalist
journalist.
for
Yep.
you are a hip hop journalist. Like you are updating us, whether we are listening or not. You are updating us on the latest happenings in the hip hop world, on those who are independent and underground, and we may never hear, even the ones that we might just hear. That
Yep.
we may see they ads going up and down on our page. We may see they music posted on Apple or Spotify. You are reporting on those guys, and so it's up to you to make sure that you do a good job or do the job of letting us hear it and not be biased on the music and give a fair opinion and synopsis on it. I was
Real shit.
trying to be the guy that stay away from that and go, yeah, I don't care about that. That's not what I'm here for. I just want to hear people tell their story. He's like, and there it is, my nigga. Like you want to hear people tell their story and you want to hear them talk about the music the way that they
Yep.
know how, the best
You're
way.
telling you doing it. You're approaching it from a you're approaching it outside the structure of what the general market of that looks like. You know what I'm saying? The general
Mm-hmm.
structure of that is always like interview based. You got these 10 questions you're gonna ask, but
Mm-hmm.
over here is more conversational. You know what I'm saying? They get to really
Mm-hmm.
like I'll use Spitz as an example. Like those conversations come off like we've been homies for a while. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And
And
that's what
and
it, that's how it's supposed to be. So that way he can actually open up and be a little bit more. He can be more forthcoming with
yes,
his
sir.
his information and tell us what was really going on musically with
Yes,
him and
sir.
industrially.
Yes, sir. And even I think getting that interview with him, bro, I think that was a catalyst to making me feel better about doing it. Cause yo, I got that, and he dude is a dope artist, right? Shout
Right.
out to Spitz Nelson. Like he a dope artist, but being able to get that interview set me back on the path. Like yo, this is what you like. You like hearing it from new artists. You like hearing what the new artists sound like. You like being in the midst of that vibe and hearing what they're working on and talking to these guys and seeing what the follow up of your generation is doing past the trap and drill music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
you what you're hearing is all around that. It's based all around that. So like even though I may be reaching out to the guys who gangsters and they may be tough as shit, even though I may be reaching out to guys who may be what you call it hardcore hip hop artists, there's still other music outside of there that has more layers than that. You know what I mean? It's good to talk to these artists and get their
Right.
opinion on things, and get them to open up. I know I won't be able to get them to open up all the time, and sometimes that's fine. But the other thing that I will not do, and I do not prefer to do, is I do not prefer to give anyone who comes on my podcast the actual questions to the interview. Because if I give you the questions to the interview and we come on here, you are going to answer them in a robotic form. It's going to be systematic and it's going to be synthesized. And I would rather have you on a podcast and you just talk to me like a regular person. When I hit you with these questions and I ask you these questions, it comes off the top and it's more organic instead of you giving
More
me this,
conversational,
yeah, instead of you giving me this answer that you already had written down for the
like
last,
pre-baked
yeah,
response and shit.
yeah, these pre-roll answers that you got for me that you've been sitting on for a week to 2 months, a month or whatever it is. So I'd rather be able
Yeah,
to sit there with you and chop it up and pick your brain and you go in off of it automatically off the top of your head instead of you just knowing your answers because you and somebody that may be your manager, your role manager, your agent, your sister, brother, or your girl may have sat down and y'all may have plotted that out. And I don't want that. I want you to sit
right.
there and talk to me normal as fuck and give me the answers to the questions without knowing them. You know what I'm saying? That's
Exactly.
not cool. That's not cool. Like and this ain't the place. This ain't the place for that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hip
Right.
hop, my nigga. Hip hop was about freestyling. It was about being open. It was about learning your craft.
Vulnerability. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
with you on that.
I want to keep that part of it in there. You know, it's not like I'm asking these niggas so far to get on here and freestyle them. You know what I'm saying? Bust down a
Right.
freestyle and everything like that. However, I have asked them, can you spit your favorite lyricist 16 bars that you remember that's the coldest? And most of these
Right.
niggas can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know who it is. They don't even remember the
And
shit
I
they
think,
damn self.
and I think as a person that's in this space, it's important to be as unique as possible with the way you conduct this,
That's a fact.
because you don't want people that's confused this platform with another platform because it's so similar.
hmm
You
But
know what I'm saying? You want it to stand out.
I have noticed, and maybe you see it, maybe you don't. I have noticed that people are looking directly at what I'm doing, even though they may not say that they paying attention to my page. I know
Yeah.
someone be paying attention because they click on my shit, they like it by accident. Y'all
Yep.
like my shit by accident, and I know that y'all checking. I know that y'all seeing what's on my page. I know that y'all
Yep.
noticing it. I know that y'all watching. And then after that, they go back and they go take what I'm saying and they go on a podcast and they do it.
Yeah. And they regurgitate it. Yep.
They regurgitate. That's why when I hear it, I go, "Oh, that I know where that came from. I know where that
Yep.
question came from. I know where that answer came from as well." So it's
And that's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's
that's
just
why I don't
how.
sweat it.
Right.
I don't sweat it. You know, you doing what you're doing because that's what you know to do. When it comes to me and the podcast, yeah, I'm listening to Shannon Sharp, Nightcap, and Uncle Shay Shay. Yeah, I'm listening to that. I'm listening to
Right.
different podcasts. Sometimes I'm messing with Joe Button podcast. Sometimes I'm messing with what's my man name Dante, Grits
Yep.
and Eggs. Sometimes I'm fucking with his podcast. There's different
Right.
podcasts that I'm paying attention to, but I ain't stealing none of they. I ain't stealing none of they shit though. I know for a fact that people be jumping on and they be taking the shit that I be doing and they be trying to, they be up and claim it as theirs, knowing that I know where that shit come from. But it's all
Right.
love. Like that's not, I understand that. Like I'm doing as much as I can to be authentic and be authentically me, along with this.
Yep.
Shit. That's why we did the platform. So shit, you weren't the only one. You said do the podcast. I said, all right, cool, let's do the podcast. Then my nigga, my big bro, he said, well, shit, let's do some foodie shit where we travel around Chicago and we check all the foodie stuff. Everybody told me and him not to even do it. They said, "Oh man, that's saturated by women, man. It's a bunch of women doing that, man. If you want to get in touch with, you need to get in touch with this person. You need to get in touch with that person, man. That's the only way you're gonna be successful because they gonna be blocking you. How are these people gonna be blocking us if we decide to go out on our own and pay for our food and eat there?
What I learned, bro, is that the people with the strongest opinions ain't even doing it.
That there it is. Like and why would I even care that somebody else is doing what I'm doing?
Right.
Me and this
I look
brother
at it
going
like,
out and doing what we doing it. We paying for the food. We not asking for everybody to service us, for free, and then we rate their food. No, we going out and we going out. Well, we going out for drinks. We going out for food,
yeah, you're
and we
talking about
gonna
the experience.
they
Yeah.
a whole entire experience, and then we are rated. That's what we was gonna do, and then life happened. His kids got older and all this other stuff, and everybody doing what they supposed to do. But
I
like you
get it.
said, you know what I'm saying? Like we going by the experience. We not going by anything else. Like we there to have a good time,
Yeah,
experience the
you can't
restaurant.
rate every dish because every dish. ain't gonna be served the same. So you go in and you talk about the overall ambiance. You talking about what the experience was on the back end. A lot of people don't understand, man. It's like if everybody didn't do something because somebody else did it first, then there would be nothing new.
Nothing would ever be new.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody would try anything. Nobody would
Hmm.
actually experiment and execute on something different. Like hip hop is literally a byproduct of doing something based on what somebody else was already doing.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We took what was already there and turned it into something that was never done before. That's
Yes,
how you
sir.
do it. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? And that's the same thing with podcasting. The same thing can be said for damn near anything. Man, we at the Renaissance era right now in terms of like what where something can be introduced and changes the landscape of what this
For
could
sure.
be
For
if people
sure.
just step outside of their feelings and just do what they got to do. I'm telling you, I don't have room. I don't have any bandwidth or room to really kind of like engage people with opinions and views on nothing I got going on, bro. Because like I confer with you, Tony, Creed, uh, my homeboy Prism, AGK. You know what
A,
I'm
a
saying?
short list of
Anybody,
people.
everybody who got is we all share the same. You know what I'm saying? Common interests. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? We have the same outlook. We're all independently uh operating.
That's a fact.
Nobody's firmly dependent on another person's success in order to drive them forward to do something. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm listening, I will listen and take your advice or your opinion on something because I watch you work. You see what I'm saying?
For
And I
sure.
trust you in that way.
For
Whereas
sure.
like an absolute stranger, just somebody who's just what they call an armchair quarterback,
Hmm.
a Twitter, you know what
Twitter
I'm saying,
favors.
pundit. Like
Hmm.
I hear them, but I ain't paying no attention to them because I
Yeah.
look at it like your results is your results,
Yeah. And I don't
whether
understand.
you're
I don't.
doing
I don't.
something or not.
Correct. I don't know what your emotion is really like because I don't know
Right.
you. I don't see you. I don't see your emotion. I see you on
I'm going
Twitter.
off of I'm going off of evidence.
Yeah, but yes, there it is. We going off of science, math, and truth and history. Like those are the four elements we are using when we compile the evidence and everything that actually
Right.
exists. We're not going off of nothing else that don't exist. We're not going
And
off the
that's what
word of
we got.
nobody. That's it. That's
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
There is no sky daddy dropping down and saying, "Yo, follow this person because they know what they doing. Follow that person because they know what they doing." No, we going by the hard facts and evidence of the things that we know got us to this point.
Yeah.
We talked about doing podcasts. We talked about doing music. I said, "Hey, I was supposed to do the Architects of Mars. That was supposed to have been done a couple years ago. That's
Yeah.
supposed to have been wrapped up. We supposed to have been done that. We probably should have been doing a third, fourth, or
Third or fourth
fifth.
one right now. Yeah.
We supposed to have been done a few installments for that, but that hasn't happened. That didn't materialize just because of everything. Well, the few things that I got going on. So that's off the table. But I want to pick all that back up, and I want that to become where I put my time, and my time and energy. I want to be more invested in that. I want to be active and I want to be proactive. I want to be productive. I want to be progressive. I want to be all
Right.
those P's. You know what I'm saying? And I want to push for that. But bro, like you were saying, it's never a time where I spend my energy or my waking day saying I'm a trust in somebody who ain't never shown me no results. I'm gonna go off just what you're saying based on the fact that you exist and you here. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I don't know anything about how you got here or how you came up with that. Now, if there is an
Anybody can tell you
idea,
anything.
yeah, anybody can tell you anything. But if there's an idea that we could go over and it's feasible and it may bring us something, some art, some money, some music or whatever, I'll do that. But I'm not just gonna trust nobody by jumping out the window thinking that what you got may be the next best thing for me or anybody else that I deal with. Like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like again, if it's ideas and everything like that, if it's something thought provoking, if it's intellect, that's cool. We can jump off on that. We can jump off on that. We can deal with that. But anything else, man, with hard fact, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna stay pat to what I know, and I'm not moving off that because I can only follow what history and what fact tell me about the things that I've experienced and the things that other guys around me have experienced and seen, and I'm not moving off of that.
I look at it from this perspective too, bro. Like I was having this conversation with my kid's mom. Me and Sean was talking and shit, and she was like, "You good?" I said, yeah, I'm good. She said, I'm just asking because I don't know too many people who uh experienced so many L's and found a way to fight back and
Mm,
get back on so many
mm,
times. She's like, after a while, I would imagine that got to be exhausting. I said it could
mm,
be too. I said you could view it that way. I said, but it also is also muscle memory. It taught me some things. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? I told her, I said, what you do is you take those lessons and you apply them to the next experience
mm.
and see whether or not it's a one-to-one or it's something you could take away from it and kind of plug and play. I said, I don't never disregard anything that I've been through. I don't never like throw away any experiences. I kind of like look at them and I figure out the relevance moving forward because I don't move with a why me perspective. I move with a why not me.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you recall again historically, right? You
Yeah,
recalling things that have already happened to you, and you're categorizing, and you're using
yeah,
that through your mental Rolodex. And you're going, are you saying, all right, have I ever dealt with this before? How
yeah.
do I deal with it now? Right? Okay,
How is
I
this
haven't.
relevant?
Correct.
Yeah,
Have I dealt with this before? No, I haven't. All right, this is going to be a new experience. I have to take this one on the chin and figure this one out. But if it's something
exactly.
that you can already deal with, you just pulling from valuable information and history that you
Yeah,
already
pull from
have.
archives.
That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. So for me currently, bro, that's really just been it. You know, working. I'm working for county government now. I'm trying to learn these different methods of how they do things with contracts around the city, how they go about doing it. Some of this stuff is really not in the particulars of my job, so I have to be very careful of what I'm doing and how I'm helping people out. And after that, bro, I want to just get back into doing this damn music and work on this podcast. I'm starting to think about because I was out with the family last week, um,
Hmm.
and man, the week went by so quick. I was out with them, man, and I went to go see my nephew at one of his volleyball games. So while we there, we having these conversations. And one of the conversations was about my cousin. He was watching this guy using his camera. He's like, I ain't never seen that camera like that before. So he was like, man, maybe I could maybe I could ask him where he got that from. So I was like, man, he's like, I could use a camera like that. And he's like, now I could use someone to work the camera like that. I was like, man, just tell him you a master electrician. Just tell him. Say I'm a master electrician, man. I need somebody that could intern for me. You know what I mean? And then just go from there. So come to find out, the guy is from like Sweden or something like that. The camera is something that they have over there. We don't even have that type of camera over here. I was like, yeah, that's another step in the right direction because now you got new information about where a
Yep.
camera may be coming from and how it's used and it's set up and how it works.
Right.
So that was another discussion. But at the same time, I'm there looking around like, man, that's part of what I wanted to do, right? The sports, hip hop, and everything like that, and be involved in it. Now I know I won't have the time for that, but I was looking around watching them play, and I was taking pictures and everything, you know, and small videos of them while they were playing. But I was like, man, this is another part of this that I would like to get into. But that's something, bro, that would take so much time. Like I would literally have to stop working that a job that pays me above the median, you know what I'm saying, and go after that, you
Yep.
know. So and that's I can't say that's gonna happen, you know. I think that the term would be spoiled. You know, I'm spoiled by being able to get up and go to work every day and be able to go get myself a check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I get it.
there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like that's where I put myself, and not only
Yeah.
did
And
I
that's
put
that's
myself
what
here,
you.
but I desire more from it.
Yeah. You know what it's like. Also, you have a point of reference. You know what it's like, what life is like outside, because you grew up in Chicago. You know what life is like outside of being in the particular tax bracket that you live in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, like, you know, you have a basic idea of what it takes to maintain your lifestyle as it stands. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So,
yeah.
of course, there's a sense of spoiledness to it. But,
Bless
sorry.
you.
Yeah, man. But you kind of like, you take it all on the chin when it come down to like the bumps and scrapes because those are all, you know, tools to teach you what you need to know, and then you
Mm-hmm.
add those new lessons on top of what you already experienced. That way, being being spoiled isn't going to be the foundation of why you move the way you move.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
A
It's
lot of
the
people kind of like totally avoid the pitfalls of this shit because they afraid of the discomfort.
But it is
I think
discomfort. I think it.
I think a lot of people are so afraid of like the new discomfort because they haven't resolved the discomfort that they've already nested in.
Uh-huh.
You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? Like I'm not, I thrive in being uncomfortable, bro. I thrive in those types of scenarios. I be in scenarios where it's like I kind of look forward to the next thing that's gonna teach me something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of embarrassment because I feel like, and I'm gonna be real, bro. And I tell my kids this. I had this conversation with my cousin. I told him straight up. I said, if I don't operate in the mentality that I'm him, then I'm just like everybody else.
Correct. And being uncomfortable is a spot where you really want to be, right?
Yeah,
Because
you
that
never
means
want to
that
get comfortable, bro.
correct. Because when you're uncomfortable, that says there's something else that needs to be done. Right. That means I need to get up off my ass and I need to make a move. There's
Yeah,
something
I
I'm
need to be
not doing.
productive.
Correct. There's something I'm not doing that I need to master. There's a
Yeah,
place that I need to be. There's a book I need to read. There's something I need to do on my place or anything like that. There's something I need to do with my podcast. Right? People kept asking me, how are you going to keep the podcast going? I'm like, I just have to do more interviews because I can't keep doing a link up. I can't keep occupying their time. They got lives, they got family. You know what I mean? Well, if you need some people to let me know. The same person
right.
that said that went back telling people, "Oh man, he ain't gonna be doing that for too much longer, man. I give him about 20 more episodes, man, after that, and then he'll be done. He won't be doing it for too much longer."
And you've been doing this how many seasons now?
Since 2020, 2021,
You see what I'm
22.
saying?
Yeah,
So, like, again, when you got people like anybody on the outside looking in, don't always be able to kind of like just project their own perspective on things. But if they don't know what the recipe is when you're cooking in the kitchen, only thing they could go off of is the way it smells and the way it tastes.
that's it. And then if
You
I'm
know what
not
I'm saying?
if I'm not really giving you no game on what it is I'm doing and how I'm doing it, you would never know anyway. Especially if it's all in my head and I ain't got it written
Right.
down. I ain't got no playbook for you to follow.
Right.
I just got to speak over it, speak existence to it, and say, look, God, Allah, whatever it is that people believe in, man, move with me as I do this and make sure I'm making the correct moves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Keep me away from all. Give me, because you can never be kept away from it, but give me the discernment to know where the sucker shit is coming from. That way I can point it out and see what it is, and then I move on from there, right? And then you just move like that. So since then, we talking about right now. I'm sitting at over 250 podcasts. Right? So we talking about a situation where they would say, "Oh, well, he'll probably do 20 more. He'll probably do 50 more. I'll give him that." And then it went from that to, "Oh, well, he don't have enough views. I pay attention to his page. He don't have enough views. I'm not gonna follow him because he ain't got no views yet." Then when one of them clips I posted, the 409 clip does like 7 or 9 thousand views, nothing changed. That's why I was
Right.
like, what were they expecting? One of them
Right.
got 44,000. Nothing changed. What were you expecting to happen? All of that
That's
happened
why.
and nothing, like I was like, it's not about the viewership for me. It's about the message that I'm particularly trying to leave while I'm here and when I'm going. And when people see it, either you gonna catch it or you not gonna catch it. That's on you. I could care less.
And on top of that, it's like because people aren't really looking at it from a perspective of organic growth and everything that they judging it on is based on their own projections because they're looking at what other people are doing.
For
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? You can't compare what's happening over here to what's happening over there because these are two completely different entities.
Mm-mm.
You know what
Mm-mm.
I'm saying? Like, yeah, the only thing that this has in common with what's happening over there is it's the podcast.
That's it. We got mics in
That's
front
it.
of us and we black men talking. And we might be saying
You
some
know
of the
what I'm
same
saying?
stuff.
You can't compare Cannibal Ox to Black Thought, and outside of
That
the fact they both rap.
there it is.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is right
But
there.
I guarantee you, there's somebody checking for both of them.
Mm-hmm. 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 And then here we
And there
go.
might be some overlap.
It will be. I'm sure there might be some, but at some point, the vibration, the energy, and the pattern of that will change because these are two entities moving at their own pace and at their own
Yep.
on their
In their own direction.
own accord. There it
Yep.
is. So for me, you look up. I had David Diaz, former boxing champion,
Hmm.
world class boxing champion from Chicago. I had Black Seed Brothers on the podcast.
Hmm.
Um, I had the young lady that you brought on here, right?
Aisha.
I had
Yep.
Aisha on here. You know what I mean? I had all these different guests on my podcast, and then someone looked up and was like, "Yo, you ain't gonna stop, huh?" I'm like, "Nah, why would I stop? I told you, like, this is the motion that I'm on until I'm not on it no more. You know,
I
until I
was
don't
on.
until I feel the need to deviate from this, there will be no deviate.
I
There
was
will
gonna
be
say
no
that.
stopping. Like what?
I was
Why
gonna
would
say
I?
that.
For what? What reason would I stop those six?
There's no reason. There's really no reason. I mean, you for every reason that somebody think you should stop, you got 101,000 reasons to keep going. You know what I'm
There's no
saying?
reason for me to
So
stop. Listen, if you look at the platform, if you erase everything I did now, you know all the stuff that I did is still out there. Like it's not going anywhere. You cannot take nothing
you can take
down.
that away. You can't
It's
take it away from
there.
you.
Like it's just
Yeah.
there. It would just be me going back into the app and telling them, hey, can y'all give me back my shit? Is there a way that I can go back and get it since you all took it from me? Like, is there a way for you guys to figure that out for me? You know, like that's all it would be. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about 250 something episodes that I've done, and I'm not gonna stop, bro. And there was so
Right.
many conversations that I heard people would come back and tell me, "Hey, he said this person said that." Man, I could care less what people got to say, man. Do y'all know that I'm not affected by the speakings and the ill intentions of another person, man? I could care less. That's not why I do this. So, you know, I'm here, bro, until I'm not, and I'm gonna keep on rocking
And that's
out
what
like
it's
that.
about.
That's it,
And you do a good job with like following up with certain guests and seeing what's going on with them when
all the
they
time,
return. You know what I'm
all
saying?
the
Jeff,
time.
you know what I'm saying? Let them come back and promote what they got going on. And it ain't never nothing negative. It ain't no beef. You know what I'm
Mm-mm,
saying?
mm-mm. It's a simple
I think that's
conversation.
what it
It's a
is.
simple conversation, bro. Through
I think
email,
that's what it is. People are
through
so used to scandal and salacious activity that they don't understand what it, you know what I'm saying,
good
what the
intention and
vision
a
is
good
over
heart
there.
is like I'm not coming. I'm not coming to y'all with malicious intent. I have no malicious intent when I do these podcasts. If you don't
Right,
want to talk about, listen. If you don't want to talk about Kendrick, if you don't want to talk about Drake, we won't even mention them, bro. We won't even bring
right,
them up in the conversation. If you right there with them, or four people back out the way that, and you know what's going on in the background, and you sit around them guys, and you that's on you.
that's fine. Right,
I'm not asking you to say anything about it. When we on there, once we go on the air and you say, yo, I don't want to talk about that, or you change the subject, I know what time it is. And we move forward. Hey, I had astrophysicist Ronald Gamble on my podcast, bro.
right.
One of the highlights of me doing this podcast. That was a highlight for me, bro. I always said, yo, one of the things I'm gonna do, Six, when we do this podcast, I said, I told you, I'm going to get an astrophysicist on here, and I prefer if he be black. So far, I've had two. One of them was an artist, Julius Voss Andreet. So when we sit
Mhm.
here and talk about, it's boring or whatever, my podcast ain't for you, fam.
Right.
Everything
And
ain't
that's
for
the whole thing.
everybody. So we can move on from that.
This is we operate on an intellectual level over here.
That's
You know what I'm
it.
saying? It go back to what I was saying, man. It's like we also a lot of people are completely unaware of where they are on the spectrum of who they are in society. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we was in high school, they separated the groups of kids, the academics from the like the special needs kids and blah blah blah, right? But once you get out of high school, if you don't go to college, you go to the military. If you don't go to the military, you go get a job or you go to trade school, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You got all these different ways your life branches off, but we all have to operate out here in the world together.
That's a
Some people
fact.
don't realize that they not really who they think they are.
Mm-hmm. That too.
You know what
That
I'm
too.
saying?
Some of us need to have a real loud conversation with ourselves and say, yo, man, everything that I keep saying that I am, I'm really not. And I really need to hone in on who I
Yeah.
want to
It's
be
because if you can't
what I
prove it
need
to
to focus
yourself,
on.
you can't if you can't prove it to yourself, ain't no use in talking about it to nobody else.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to believe it. You got to know. You got to own it first. If you know that you got work to do and you got some self improvement to actually engage in, there's
Mm-hmm.
no use in coming on nobody's platform or coming to nobody with a platform
Yes, sir.
trying to offer some sort of game and advice. And the only thing you got to show for yourself is you just cashed a check from a 8 hour job, if that. And that's not to knock anybody with a fucking 9 to 5 because we all got to make a living.
You
However,
do.
no, you can't dictate the terms of somebody else's endeavor and ambitions because a lot of people out here don't have nothing that they working on.
And that's another thing. Like the whole time that was people were saying that, the 4 or 5 individuals were saying that to me. I was like, man, I could give a fuck less what they got to say because if you saying that, then there's a chance that you will be lying on me sometime soon, or you have to make yourself feel good about everything that's going on. But me,
Right.
bro, like whatever to that, like the motion that I got is mine's, and I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna keep on building on it. You know that like I said, 40 episodes or whatever, I was supposed to do it, fall off, not want to do it no more, lose my
Right.
motion, and be done with it. And here we are, 250 episodes in or more, because I think it's more like 260 or 270. And I'm
Hmm.
still I'm still rocking and rolling. I've had all types of guests from the artist world, Ron Cruz and Quabina Nixon from the city of Chicago, poet and author. I've had enough guests, a myriad, a plethora of guests on my podcast, and they have blessed me and they blessed my soul. Bro, have you had a chance to check out any of the artists that I sent in that group text though? In that group chat?
I've been checking them out, and I'm at work. I'll be sitting up there listening to some of they work. I've been looking at some of the things they got going on, social media, just trying to follow up and see if I could, you know, get more acquainted with what they do.
Yeah. I like Jet Deuce.
Yeah,
I think that he's dope. And I like the guy DR. I think DR is dope. I think DR is dope. And on the podcast when he was talking, he pointed out, he said he had to get back to reality and get back to being more of himself. And it was something that I wanted to say to him when he said that, but he pointed it out himself. And when he said that, I was like, yes, sir, I think you should. Because when you listening to him, you can hear that cadence or rhythm of a certain
hmm,
rapper, that ain't from here. He's from another northern part of the Americas. So when he was doing it, I was like, oh, okay, this is what he imitating. I can hear it in what he doing.
hmm.
And when I was listening to it, I was like, yeah, you should probably get back in your lane and in your vein, man, and stay there. Like you got enough of everything else, but you got to go back to being yourself because when you're not being yourself, that's when you start lying, right?
Right.
And the people can hear it, and when it don't make sense to them, it becomes foolery. It becomes just disrespectful to them because you
It
think,
becomes a mockery at that point.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you playing in their face, you playing in their ears as well. So, but Dr. is he's a dope artist, bro. So if you haven't had the chance to try him out and check out his music, I think you should do that.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So other than that, how the family? Kids good?
Everybody good, man. Ariana went to go hang out with her brother, went over to Elijah's house, kicked it with him for a little bit. So I was in the studio before we started this. I was
Mm-hmm.
mixing a couple joints and kind of like just vibing out to some samples and just trying to, what I'm saying, make sure my headspace stay in a creative area. Working on some bars, just trying to multitask a little bit. I know I need to do some rewiring of some of my equipment because I moved my room around a little bit.
Okay.
And a couple weeks ago, I had came out that way for like for a Friday because my pops was in the hospital and shit.
Mm.
We went up there for because he had a procedure that was scheduled. He had an MRI, a pre, you know what I'm saying, a pre MRI. So they so to make sure he was good for the procedure, and they
Mm-hmm.
found he had some blood clots. And so they told him they had to keep him and try to figure out what was going on with the blood clots. And I
Mm-hmm.
got the information. I came up there just to go so I could sit in, you know what I'm saying,
And get
and
the
hear and
information.
ask questions and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me some information that I felt like my pops wasn't gonna provide me. You know what I'm saying? So I asked the doctor some questions so I could get a little bit more clarity. I was asking questions I knew he probably wouldn't ask or think to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of put the bug in my dad's ear again about considering moving closer to me. I said, because I don't have no problem jumping up and coming to see him and shit like that. I said, but dude, that's a 3 hour drive. I said, anything go down, I still got to get there in 3 hours.
That's a
You know
fact.
what I'm saying? So I said, at least if you within the proximity, I said, me and my brother, we, you know what I'm saying? living
Either one
pretty
of y'all
decently.
yeah, any one of y'all can
Yeah,
jump up and go get to him. Yeah,
right. And he said he'll consider it or whatever. And I know he getting up there in age and shit like that, and he want to be
yeah.
a little bit. He's still trying to be independent, and he can do it, but not with the blood clot situation being what it is. They got him
Because
on
you
a
need to
blood
sit down.
thinner and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I told him, I said, there's a whole lot you want to do that you probably wouldn't be able to do if the blood clots slip and cause cardiac arrest or a
Mm-hmm.
stroke or something like that. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
keep that in consideration, you know. But that's just, it's a challenge of life. You know what I'm saying? You know how it go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's a challenge of life when
And you
your
definitely want to
parents get
keep him.
older.
Yeah, you definitely want to have him around for as long as you can. But
Yeah,
pops, you also gotta take the example and take the lead from Six at this point. You know, even though you are the adult and you are the parent, at this point in time, it's best for you
like,
to fall back and listen to him and say,
yeah. Trust
take the
trust
back,
my point
yeah,
of view on it. You know what
take the
I'm saying?
back seat on this. You know what I'm saying? He's there for you, and he wants to make sure that the right decisions are being made for you, and they're not a hindrance, but making sure that you stay on tilt with what's going on, so you don't miss a step. And
Right.
it's a miscalculation of your time and your energy as well. So definitely, definitely, he should definitely not just consider it, but do that because you got
Yeah.
two sons who are, and there's no disrespect to nobody else, but you got two responsible sons with kids, and they understand what it takes, to get to their father. They understand what it's like to raise it, to be raising children and be responsible. Not that the rest of the siblings don't know, but to have both of them within an equal within
Mile
equal
distance. Yeah.
range, the same distance. I can, hey yo, either one of them. Hey bro, Can you go check him on there? Yeah, I got it. I'm over here right now. It could be something
Right.
so simple as that instead of having to travel the 3 hours to get across the state lines and make a move from there to here. So definitely possible, man. It's time for you to lean on your kids a little bit on this one, man. Just get your health in
Yeah.
order, get your workout routine. If you can, keep your body as strong as you can, because like the doctor told me some years ago, the only thing that really goes wrong is that the muscles start to change, right? And
Yeah.
because you aren't using the muscles the same as you would when you were 20 and 30 years old, you're using them less, so they deteriorate. But if you
Yeah.
do enough of the working out and some actual working out, and you work out your lower half and keep the rest of your body in shape, the deterioration isn't as much, and it doesn't become a situation where you're just completely unstable. Like you'll be able to do more
Thanks.
than walk. You'll be able to run and keep up and do a bunch of things. I just saw a brother on Instagram that's like 104 years old, bro. He competes in the archery, the national archery shootout or something like that. Real shit.
And I think
104 years old, bro.
that's because he's passionate, man. I think when you got something you passionate about, that'd be your heartbeat, bro.
That's absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
That's something that you like. He's dedicated to, bro. To get up
Yeah.
every day and make that trip out, and not just to do archery, but he has to work out for that. Like you
Yeah.
can't just sit up and go be shooting at targets and everything. Like there's a certain part
You
of you
think
that
about
has to.
how many pounds of pressure it takes to pull that, you know what I'm saying, that boat.
Yes, yes, and you have to be
And
conditioned to do that over and over again. Especially if they do something where they're asking you to do more than a regular person does. Dude, he looked like he about 50, 60 years old. You wouldn't even know that he's 104. Real shit. Real shit.
I kind of like I think about that a lot too, man. It's like that's to me is a reason why I continuously write, I continuously record, I continuously, you know what I'm saying? I'm working that muscle. I'm always reading, I'm always researching. I'm not gonna rap about nothing that I don't know about. I'm gonna keep on digging deeper. And it ain't about none of the accolades that come with. I just want to. It's about the footprint. You know what I'm
That's it.
saying? Like it's the
That's
footprint,
it.
bro.
That's it. That's it. Just leaving your message behind, leaving your voice
Yeah,
behind. Hey, this
yeah.
was me. It ain't about the record sales. It's about leaving it because as we know, a lot of the dopest artists out here were never heard until after their deaths. They
Man,
weren't celebrated until after their death. And no, I'm not looking forward to dying. I'm not looking forward to being celebrated. I just want to go to my grave being empty. Like I gave up everything. Like I gave this world
Yeah,
everything I
I
had.
poured myself into the world. I
I
poured
poured
myself. I
everything
did.
into the world.
Yeah.
And when I leave here, I can be satisfied with that, knowing that I didn't lie and I didn't hold back and I didn't shelter information. I didn't gatekeep for people. Like I let everybody know everything that was going on that I had that the world has and that I had to offer. The things I need to keep to myself, I kept them to myself. But for the most part, I gave everything that I had out of love and out of sacrifice and out of passion for what for what I was here for. And then I dipped out. My time was up and I was gone.
Because honestly, bro, we kind of like we always against the clock. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We're always up against the clock.
Mm-hmm.
But because we living in this construct, it's really incumbent on us to really maximize our potential and our time. Use all our gifts as much as we can.
A
You know what
hundred
I'm
percent.
saying?
100%.
I think that people so used to being hardwired to just go get a job and go work and make somebody else rich that they
Mm-hmm.
almost forget that that ain't what life is about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and
We almost forget that we ain't just chickens on the farm.
Yeah, and I forget it, bro, because like I said, like I've slowly been rounding getting my wheels back under me, slowly been getting back to it. I've been rhyming a lot in my head, walking down the street saying little slick shit here and there when I'm walking down the street, making a little rhymes, being goofy, being silly or whatever. But it's because I
Mhm.
know it's on its way, and because I know
Right.
it's on its way, like I'm gonna have to sit with some pen and paper. I'm gonna have to grab my phone, and I am going to have to sit with this phone and get creative and run down a gambit of lyrics that work together to form and create a song or create a verse for a project that we're gonna be working on. Bro, like I said, with 3 installments, I should have done 3 installments for the Architects of Mars and Critical Mass. I should have 2 projects out. Besides that, there should be 1 or 2 projects out a year for the past few years from me. That hasn't happened. Like these are real shits. These are real things that in reality should have taken place and they haven't just because of the way things have been going. You know what I mean? And now that I'm trying to get back focused, we're gonna work that out and I'm gonna punch that ticket and then I'm gonna move on from there. So
And
I should have something to
it
talk
took me
about.
months. It took me like 5 months. And it usually my turnaround on songs and verses usually don't be like that. But right around the time, right before Tisha died, Tony sent me a beat to write to because he was gonna put it on the project.
Mm,
And I wrote some shit, I recorded some shit, I ain't like it. And I just kept on going back and forth with what I was coming up with. And then she passed. And
mm-hmm,
I kind of like just stopped. You know what I'm saying? I was dealing with my grief. So I kind of like compartmentalizing. And he, you know what I'm saying? He already knew what was up. And then I just started submitting like the different drafts that I had to him as I started kind of coming out of it. And the one I sent where it was like verses and hooks. Because at first it was just verses, there wasn't no hooks and nothing. And I submitted like a couple, and then like the last one, he said, "This the one right here."
mm,
I was like, "You sure?" I said, "Cause I could go back and do something else." He was like, "Nah, I'm dead serious. It's the one right here." I was like, "All right, cool."
mm.
And that's when I kind of start getting back in my bag. You know what I'm saying? I've been finding different ways to approach the subject matter. I found, you know what I'm saying, and I have to utilize my mental state in a way where I'm just not being hampered by the emotional burden. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm,
Because I had to treat it like I would if I had to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like your
mm.
job don't give a fuck about what you're going through,
They don't. They
and
don't.
I have to kind of like I can't let what life throw at me be an excuse not to be productive.
That's a fact.
I have to deal with what I'm dealing with. I have
Yep.
to be honest about what I'm dealing with. But then I had to also approach it from an aggressive perspective. Like ain't nobody coming to save me. I got to get this shit done.
And compartmentalize if you didn't say that already. You have to be able to
Yeah,
compartmentalize these things.
yeah,
All right, I'm grief stricken because my girl died. Years ago, I lost my mother. All right,
yeah.
so these are things that impact me because these are people that I love. These are people that I'm involved with. These are people that mean something to me.
Right.
Right, but on the other side of that, I'm still a father. I'm still a brother. I'm still a cousin. I'm still a business
People
owner.
depending on me.
There it is. There's still things that I have to do structurally that are normal for me, and I have to keep that balance
Right.
going, right? So then the other part is like, how do you deal with your grief? but I can deal with my grief by writing. I can deal with my grief by talking to people about it. Part of my grief was just being on the podcast at that one point in time, was just
Right.
speaking about it, or being
Right.
outside and just telling people, "Yo, man, it's gonna come a day when you're gonna lose your mother, man. I wish you don't know nobody, your mother or your father. But let me tell you what some of that feels like, and let me make you aware and maybe make you prepared because for those who
Right.
don't understand what it's like, if you didn't tell your parents how you felt about them or did the things that you were supposed to do, there may come a point where you lose them and you never have gotten a chance to
You
do
never get
those
the
things.
opportunity. Yeah.
And
You lose the opportunity.
regret sets in, and that regret can become anger. It can become depression.
You start having survivor's guilt.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it becomes a
All of
lot of
that.
things for you. It becomes a lot of things for you. So those are some of the ways that I dealt with it. You know what I mean? And because of that, some people have better relationships with their parents or parent. They're more involved with their family or whatever it may be. But we gonna all share that type of situation. But my whole thing was just to let people know, hey man, like I'm dealing with the grief of losing a parent, and
Right.
because I'm dealing with the grief of losing a parent, this is how I'm coping with it. This is how I'm dealing with it, But on the real side of things, man, I haven't really had a break to really decompress and let some of that out. Mostly it's just me sitting around the house, thinking about certain things, thinking about my mom or thinking about my dad or what could have been and things like that. But that's it. You know what I'm saying? So every day, bro, we are compartmentalizing to make sure that, we keep ourselves afloat and get out here and put our best foot forward and do the best that we can when we're on our jobs, when we're around our family and friends. And so
Right.
that we also don't make the mistake of hearing something the wrong way and then that light switch flips on and then we lose our cool. And sometimes I would like to think that we're moments away from doing that if we don't catch ourselves. But that's just me.
Yep. The real shit.
Yeah, but back on the subject of music, bro, I think that it's some projects and some music that we really need to nail down. I need to hunker down and be more a part of, and I really need to hit punch a couple of these projects in the mouth and get them knocked out. Um, it's just a matter, bro. Just
I'm gonna drop some shit. I'm gonna drop some
just a
shit in
matter
the
of just having
Dropbox
some
tomorrow
time.
because I got a lot of shit I just finished up. I'm gonna just drop it in the Dropbox so you can at least see where I'm at
Hmm.
and you can see what direction I'm talking about going in and shit like that.
Okay, for sure. But I definitely want to.
Especially because I'm wrapping up this one album and shit I'm gonna
Mm,
put out, and that
I
way
do.
it'll kind of like keep. We got a nice little window, a nice gap in
Hmm.
releases. Even for me solo, the last project I dropped was like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back into the realm of writing, even if it's just like doing what one of the brothers was saying. He's like, man, I'm doing a song a week, bro, for 52 weeks.
Hmm.
I think it was Alexander Blaine. He said, I'm gonna do a song a week for 52 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's what I'm gonna be with mine. And I was like, man, that ain't bad. But he every situation for everybody is different. I'm not the guy sitting in the studio with the homies or a home built studio sitting there
Right.
working on music. Everything I need is with somebody else until I do my part and plug up the mic and then spit my verse and then get out the way.
Yeah.
So
You got it. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
yeah, and
It's
also the other part is I still need to get myself a laptop and stop playing around. Get myself a laptop and start hunkering down and getting everything taken care of. Cause this one is
right.
old as all get up, and it can only do so much for a little bit longer before it crash out on me.
That's the whole thing about this technology shit, bro. That's why I've been like, because I got my mobile set up that if I need to jump up and make some moves, I can just pack the shit up in the suitcase and it'd be ready to go. But like as far as the tech goes, it's like the computer component is the part that you don't know how long that motherfucker gonna actually hold up because of software and shit like that or the
Hmm.
RAM on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
and there's only so much emptying and changing and things of that
yeah,
nature that you can do to it before it say, yo,
right.
I done everything I can. You had me longer than I was supposed to be here. And once they decide to make one of those updates past where your computer can be compatible to, it's a wrap for that, man.
Yep.
It's the Stone Ages, and you got to throw that thing in the garbage and step
You
it
gotta
up.
start all over, and you gotta
Mm-hmm.
update. You gotta buy a new one, and then you gotta reinstall all your
Reinstall
stuff and start all
everything.
over.
Yeah, that's why I tried. Like
Yeah.
I said, minimalist. I try to do as far as the things around me minimal, if I don't need it, I'll cut it down. But the things that I do want to have around me, like I know where they are and I know how to get to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you paying attention to any of these sports out here, dog?
I ain't been watching no basketball. I'm out the loop on basketball. I've been watching some college sports and watching MMA more than anything.
How long you been watching
Uh,
MMA? Because I ain't never heard you say shit about any MMA, bro.
I've been watching MMA for years, man. I've just been especially since Paramount picked up the contract with UFC, I've been watching a lot more of it. Because at first they was hiding everything behind a paywall. I kind of fell off of it a little bit, but I'm back in it
Hmm.
since they got their contract and just been following. Like I'm watching this main event right now. You
Is
know what
that
I'm
out of the
saying?
that's that Paramount deal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, yeah, man. Hey, I'm gonna run to the restaurant right quick.
for sure. Hold on, let me hit
Yep.
the pause button on this thing.
Yep. Leaking all over.
You see somebody leaking over on the
Yeah, I'm
UFC
watching this
side?
Mohandes and Musa. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah, I got the prelims for the Thurman Fundora fight on.
yeah,
Roy just told the brother Kevin Newman that this it. If you don't knock him out, we ain't gonna this gonna be a last round together. I don't think he
right.
can do it though. I don't think he can do it.
You need the knockout, huh?
He need a big knockout. Like he has to because Elijah Garcia been on his top since the opening bell, and he been standing in front of him.
Right,
And it's not a serious ass whooping that he taking, and I haven't really been noticing because I mean paying attention just because we've been chopping it up.
right.
But it ain't they it's give and take, but it seems like Elijah Garcia has been doing the majority of that damage, and he's the one that continues to come forward. So Kevin Newman really needs to do something spectacular. But at this point, with
Right.
a minute left, a minute and 30 seconds left, I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He's waited too long. Like that's what they tell you early on in the fights, man. Do all your groundwork and everything early on in the fight, so the fight is easier for you when we get to that second and third part of the fight. Once we get to that second and third part of the fight, if you did all your groundwork and you did what you were supposed to, we won't have to worry about you looking bad later on in the fight. We won't have to worry
Right.
about going worried about what the judge is gonna say because all the work that you put in, it's gonna
Right.
show. It's gonna let us know that you did what you were supposed to do. So
The evidence will speak for itself.
it absolutely is. So while he in there in the ring right now, the guy that he's going against, Elijah Craig, is like he throwing punches with him and he hitting him, and he don't
Hmm.
have to do no more than that. It's 40 seconds left, and he about to walk out of here with a win. But like he said, you ain't getting no more fights like this. So you better figure it out. You know, yeah, I'm looking forward to the main event, man. I'm definitely looking forward to the main event more than anything tonight.
Right.
Once I get off here, I did a podcast earlier for the sports punch. So this is the second one for the day. I got a few more scheduled coming up, and I should be good, bro.
Word.
Are there
That's
any
what you
artists
love, huh?
that? Oh wait, not any artists. Have you been talking to Spitz about doing a project? Have you guys been keeping in contact about it?
I've been watching him work. I've been letting him go ahead and do his thing because I know he promoting and he doing his tour thing. So I've been letting that let that work happen. But I've been really considering the last conversation we had about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I sent him a few beats already. I still got. I'm gonna send him a few here and there just until something really click with him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect him to like everything I send him, but I do. You know what I'm saying? I know some gonna resonate.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. That's how I go. I've heard many producers say that. Yo, I sent him 10 beats here, then I sent him 10 beats there. He said, I don't
Right,
like none of these, but give me these two right here. I don't like none of those, but give me these three. I hear
right.
you. That's how I go. Like you're not supposed to like everything, man. You're gonna like the beat that grabs you and talks to you and tells you this is where you're gonna create your next song right here. This is gonna be a
Yep.
part of your
And that's
next
what
one.
it's supposed to be like. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Shit, I don't feel like writing everything I make. Sometimes I make something just to get it out my system on it, and
yeah,
it just sit on the hard drive.
yeah. Yeah, it's just a matter of you creating and keeping
Yeah,
that creativity going, keep those juices flowing. Hell yeah. That's
yeah,
it.
man. I like the model of what it is he's doing creatively.
I think that's dope too. The fact
Yeah,
that he's not only a MC, but he wants to involve the coffee movement to be a part
Yeah.
of his brand, and I think that's dope. I
He
think that's
found his people. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I don't like that he says the best coffee is in New York or whatever, but New York is an amalgamation of people, places, things, and culture. So you can only salute that because you got so many different people from
Different walks of life.
Albania, Turkey,
Right.
Italy, and everywhere else around the world who can produce coffee. You know what I mean? Down to the Africans. So
Yeah.
because he has that at his disposal, it's easier for him to latch on to that and go, no, I get a decent cup of coffee from over here as well, man. Like the coffee
Right.
over here is nice. So I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at him for that. But I'm trying to introduce him to one of the brothers here while he's doing that, and he's trying to keep that situation going. I got to reach back out to both of them and see what else I
I
need to
got
do to keep that
I got a question.
going.
Quick
Shoot,
question.
shoot.
Um, because hip hop has been doing what it's been doing for over 50 years now, as it stands as a culture, how much longer do you think it can kind of like carry uh I guess the creative energy that has been carrying before another something is invented. Something is kind of like something that because I think like rebellion is what kind of sparks this innovation. You know what I'm saying? And we're at a point right now where I would imagine somebody somewhere is creating something. And it don't necessarily got to be a musical thing because hip hop is more than just music, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like what do you imagine something else uh coming along to kind of like represent the new rebellion, but because right now where hip hop is so mainstream now that it don't have the teeth that it had during the Reagan era.
It
You know what I'm
doesn't.
saying? It
It
doesn't have
doesn't.
the it don't have the it's not it don't have the claws and the teeth
It
that
doesn't.
it had back in the Reagan era. So like everything is kind of like watered down. It's
That's the
commodified.
thing. I'm waiting to see what it is that plans on either taking its place, taking
Uh,
hip hop's current place, or pushing hip hop back to the front
yeah,
where the claws start to sharpen again. So, but I'm not sure what it is because we are at a place where the kids that are out here they're very complacent with what's going on, and everybody keeps going along with what's going on. There isn't a lot of fight out here. Like everyone is more concerned about the people and what other people are doing. They're concerned about what the internet is doing and how the internet is performing and how they can be a part of that. So what's going to be the next sensation and everything. So as far as
I
that
believe
goes, you can't. To me, there's no way to tell until something hits them hard enough, or the music that I have been hearing becomes a thing where it becomes a rebellion.
right because I believe that every because of how we are as a people, uh, because we express through our art. You know what I'm saying? Jazz is an example of that. Blues is an example of that. You know what I'm saying? Rock is an example of that. So
Hmm.
all of these different examples, hell, even house is an example of that. With all of these different examples, I think the only thing that's different now versus then was that we're all operating on these uh highly monitored, highly curated platforms as opposed to out in the world actually doing it.
Hmm.
So it's like everybody's uploading shit to the internet. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's like fake. It's a fake community when you exist on the internet at all times.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't really get to engage people in real time in their
Hmm.
face and actually see and feel the same vibes together. Everybody kind of like people can be the fake version of who they are.
There it
They could
is.
be an asshole. They could be empathetic. Whoever they want to pretend to be for the day, they can do that on the internet.
Hmm.
Whereas in real time, in real life, it was a different. It was a different thing because you had to feel the music and be in the environment and smell it and see it in real time to determine whether or not that was for you.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm
There
saying?
it
I
is.
knew how it felt when I was a kid and I heard uh, Planet Rock, when I heard Rapper's Delight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little ass kid hearing that shit.
Self-destruction.
Yeah, that shit was like new to me. I was like, God damn, this shit. Like what? I've never heard this before, and every time it just kept
Yeah.
getting more and more robust. It kept getting a little bit more, uh, more, emotional.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time I heard Soldier Story by Tupac. I was like, God damn, never heard nothing like this before. And keep in mind, this is after I already heard Straight Outta Compton. I'd never heard nothing like that before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's around when I heard My Uzi Weighs a Ton. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's like so you hear all these different songs that have all these different messages in them. You don't see that too often no more because even if they do, if songs are released with a message, again, because we exist in a world where everything is like behind the walls of of social media, a lot of these artists aren't getting they message out like they used to back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
It's
curated by a fucking algorithm now.
correct. And the only way to do that is to own it, right? But
Yep.
because we don't have ownership in anything that can produce that result, everything is being filtered and thrown into the same machine that we're all using. The authenticity of being able to go to a club or a dive bar, whatever it is, and perform and do your work, show your skills and be
Right.
great in that element. It's still there. How effective that can be in today's time, we don't know. Is there the possibility of it being another movement or rising like that? Yeah, but the people gotta your
People got to
claws.
participate.
Yeah, and your claws got to be sharp. Like you gotta want that. Like you gotta want to chisel your craft and want to be a part of that. So until we see another movement like that, what we got right now is what we got. What right? The saying is what hard men make soft times, and soft times make hard men.
Yeah.
So we in a part now where everything has become easier for this generation, and there isn't much of a fight in them per se. It might be in some of the ones around them, but a lot of them don't have no fight. A lot of them don't. They may be able to pick up a gun, but they don't know how to use a gun correctly. They don't even know much about self defense and actual laws and codes that conduct having a gun or being able to defend yourself or kill. Like they don't know that stuff. So they're all out here operating loosely by the seat of their pants, and there is no uh, constructive way for them to do things because no one's following any rules. So
Right.
when we talk about doing another movement, which we are, we're years past, right? It should have been something like all those killings of the young black men and women during that 5 or 6 year period, along with oh man, George Floyd, along with that brother, and to Tamir Rice and Sandra Bland and all those men and women. That should have been a movement that sparked their interest to say, hey, we're gonna fight back. But everybody went to the internet with it. Everything became an internet protest. Everything became, yeah, let's dump all our attention here. And the reason why is because it made you lazy to go on the internet and say that
It's
stuff.
systemically, it's mental conditioning, bro. It's like you got it's almost like a psyop where it's like we've been hard. And it's not us, but it's like it's a generation of us that have been hardwired to trust the conversations they have online more than the actual interactions they have in real time. If you think about it, like people don't really feel comfortable being outside no more.
They
When we
don't.
was coming up, everybody was
We
outside.
was always outside.
You know what I'm
Like now
saying?
you look around, everybody inside, they on the apps, they on their phones and everything. Me and my family, we still get together in fellowship. The ones that don't fellowship when they there with us, you can tell they're not fellowshipping because they're off on the side on the phone. When
And
we're around
nobody
each other,
trust
we're supposed to be
nobody.
fellowshipping.
We people put more value in their distrust for somebody else than they do in actual engagement.
That's
So like
crazy.
I was a little kid, you know how it was. You leave the house and you just outside and you don't have to stay in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
You go down the street a few blocks away, a mile away, as long as
Mm-hmm.
you made it home by the time the street lights came on, you started developing these survival skills.
Mm-hmm.
Kids don't have these survival skills. I was talking to Ayana, and I was saying that the reason why these young boys be walking around with these shiesties on and shit like that is because they weird and awkward kids. They don't have no social skills. They don't know how to. They don't. They
That's it.
hide their face.
That.
because they weird and they awkward. They ain't because they tough and they
It ain't
trying to
cause
get away with something.
got nothing to
They
do
don't
with
want
it.
to. They don't want to be seen because when you're on the internet, you don't have to worry about being seen. So when you're out in the world, they rather keep their face hidden because if you could see the pussy in them, you could see the fear in them, you could see the coward in them, you know what I'm saying? And these little niggas, a lot of them, and I'm not gonna say all of them because I don't know all of them, but a lot of them just want to appear tough to the other one next to them.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. They not that
Or to the
tough. They
motherfucker
just
on the other side of the damn internet, to the motherfucker on the
that's
other
it.
side of the screen.
That's it, bro. You don't. Someone was like, "Yo, how come you guys don't put your glasses on when y'all doing it? Put your dark shades on? What do I need dark shades on the inside when I got a light in front of my face for? Now, maybe I should put that on, put the glasses on just because the light can be blinding. But other than
Right,
that, I don't need no shades on in my face, bro. Like I'm good. I don't need none of that. I don't need to be doing what everybody else is doing to make myself seem like I'm cool. That don't make
right.
me cool because I'm doing what everybody else is doing. What makes me cool is me being my authentic self. That's what makes me cool. Nothing can ever change that. But what you're saying is exactly true. The young brothers and sisters are going out here and they're socially awkward. When we grew up, we were latchkey kids. You understand what I'm saying? So there were things that you could do and couldn't do, and you had a key, and maybe you didn't have a key. Maybe the key was under the doormat. Maybe it was in a planter. Maybe it was with the next door neighbor because the next door neighbor would be home all day, and your job was to get home by 4 or 5 o'clock to make sure that you got
Ain't
that key
nobody in when you get there.
and you went home, you opened that door up, and it was just you and your brothers and sisters until your parents or whoever it is, your guardian got home. These kids stay inside all day. They don't come outside. They don't know how to play amongst each other outside. They're always inside. And they think so highly of themselves that they keep forgetting that, yo, y'all really are soft.
And on the other side of that, even if you did have niggas in the neighborhood who were like the street niggas, they wasn't allowing little niggas to get involved in that street shit.
That's a fact.
If you wasn't in it, you wasn't in it. Get your ass out of here, little nigga. Go home.
And you had to have permission and representation to say that it was okay for you to be outside doing that
Yeah,
activity.
facts.
For the most part, you got sent home or whatever it was. So we know that. But now you look around like anybody can be doing anything right now. Anybody can
Yep.
be saying anything. Like without any repercussions or any consequences or anything. Like it's just okay for them to talk reckless and be just as messy as they want to be. And nothing is happening to them. But that lets
Yep.
you know that in that era of discipline, there are no OGs, there are no big brothers, there are no big sisters, there are no unks, there are no aunties, there are no big sisters or whatever it is to keep these motherfuckers in line just in case their household don't work. When they get outside, it's some niggas outside saying, "No, you can't do that. Where your mom at? Where your mom at? All right, where do you stay? Because now we have to go to your house and talk to your mother and find out why you out here."
Right.
And we don't have a village no more. We don't have that. Now you just got a bunch of loose cannon motherfuckers talking like they tough, wanting to be tough, and they out here getting spanked in these streets. They getting killed, or they going to jail,
Because
and they virgins going into the jail system. They
if you
punks going into the
remove
jail
the
system without that
pistols,
gun.
if you remove the guns from the equation, you got just a bunch of bitch ass niggas.
That's what the
Most of these
majority of
niggas
them
don't have
are.
no. A lot of these niggas don't got no fist game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas can't fight. You know what I'm saying? The few of them that can fight, they will fight. They do fight, but it ain't very many of them. A lot
Man,
of
these
them
niggas
have
can't
trust.
fight, man.
They got trust issues. They got issues with authority. They got issues with the hierarchy. They don't understand the hierarchy of needs. They don't understand the reason why. They don't understand the society that they live in and how it's impacting the decisions they make. None of that. Only thing they care
None of
about
it.
is all they care about is looking tough.
Yep, I got this Draco and I got this fake ass mask on that I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna do nothing with this mask on.
And they
I just wanna
musty as
look like
hell. They
I just want
musty and dirty.
man dirty. These motherfuckers be dirty as fuck out here. These niggas is dirty, bro. Dirty,
Wearing designer clothes, dirty as
disgusting.
hell.
With your Taiwan and Chinese ass Fendi and
Yeah.
Balenciagas and shit that y'all got on, and y'all out here dirty as fuck. Man, just so y'all know, wearing a pair of name brand sneakers don't make you fly, nigga. You got to be fly. Being fly got to be
With or
in you
without it.
before you get that shit. If you ain't got that, putting that shit on don't mean nothing. All y'all,
Yeah,
like, all y'all, man, this the internet is so fucked up. It got y'all misrepresenting yourselves and y'all community. Man, y'all don't even know what's real and what's not. Y'all believe these niggas
right.
out here on this internet and shit. They cold as hell. Them niggas either be raising money or they scamming or they hustlers by nature.
Yep.
Like they have to do all this shit. They
That's why they
probably
still.
took out
That's
a
why they still in
PPP loan or
cars for
something.
stupid shit.
Yeah, these niggas ain't out here doing the shit that they talking about, man. They ain't out here doing all the shit that they saying and on the social media that they talking about. They got this shit all fucked up. Why y'all lying to these motherfuckers for a reason? Because y'all putting on the front. And it's all right. Like do what makes it cool for you. But don't be when a nigga approach you and he jump in your face and he on some shit. Don't be upset that the nigga about to slap the shit out you or do something else crucial to you that you can't get away from, or he be ready to blow your ass down and knock your fucking head off. Like, don't
Facts.
be upset about that. We live in a different era though, Six. So the only way I see it changing, man, the only way I see it turn into something where it could be demonstrative for them is for them to get outside, bro. They got to come outside and start organizing and mobilizing. They have to realize that hey, this is a dire need for us to come together because if we don't do it, there's a generation of us that will get left behind. We won't have anything. Laws
Right.
are already they still trying to pass some of these same laws. And you don't know, I don't know if they gonna ever gear up and get that shit done. These
Yep.
niggas don't care, bro. They care more about what the internet say. The internet ain't shit, bro. It's a device, bro.
It's a.
And if you're
That's
not
it. It's
using
a.
if you're not using it to the best of your ability to make something for yourself, not just be creative, but try to make a dollar out of it, you just sitting around doing nothing, man. You wasting your time. You wasting your
Yeah.
time.
They just.
I feel like I
They
be
rather
wasting
be
my
a
time when I be
citizen.
scrolling on that motherfucker, when I be looking for guests. You understand me?
They rather be a citizen of the internet than actually a citizen of the society that they are part of. And that's where the problem come in, the separation of that. I think that part of the separation is a big reason why we are in a predicament that we in. Because you create that type of separation, you have a dynamic where nobody has any respect for the people that are actually foundational to the community. You know what I'm saying? We already have like several generations of broken homes.
That's a
We have
fact.
several generations of low education.
That's a fact.
Hell, I even go as far as saying like because with No Child Left Behind was when with George Bush Jr. He started No Child Left Behind Act. That's another fucking you know what I'm saying shot in the foot because that means that anybody who probably should have been taught or allowed the opportunity to get their education and pushed more towards academics. They were just pushed through,
Just push through.
regardless of their grades, and now they out here with us, taking up space.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
occupying space. The
Undereducated,
motherfuckers undereducated. Don't really
making,
know much about math. Don't
and
know much about science,
they got loud ass voices and a lot of opinions.
and making bad decisions. And we got to sit here and look like, and it looks like we're participating with these motherfuckers, and they just pass
Yeah,
these niggas through.
yeah.
And
These are the same people you got
we
to.
can quickly
You
tell
engage with
by
these
a
people every day,
conversation that we should not be out here with these same motherfuckers, bro. We
man.
know that. We know that by engaging in conversation with these motherfuckers. I know I ain't supposed to be talking to you,
You
which
have
is why
like
I shut up.
you ask three questions, and you can tell who you're talking to.
And it don't when
You can
when
tell by the way you can tell by the way they spell their words.
when Jim Wallace jumped on J Dub jumped on my podcast and he said there's a way that I do socialize with people, and there's a way that I don't. And there's three to five methods that I use to make sure that I'm socializing and interacting with the right people. And he ran down that list. Those are the same things, bro, that you, me, and everybody else in the crew got. I can't fuck with you if you don't meet that criteria because I know
Man,
at some point it's like books falling off a shelf. It's like books committing suicide, bro. The intellect ain't there, and I'm talking to somebody that I have no business talking to because I'm wasting my time.
yeah. You're engaging in you literally just yelling into an empty room.
That's it. That's it. And if you know me, then you know I'm not the most. This is the most that I'm gonna talk unless you're around me and you're the type of people that I want to be around. Other than that,
Right.
I'm not talking. I'm not engaging in conversation with people that I care. I don't care too much for. I mean, I don't care to talk to. You know what I mean? Like I rather keep it to myself. because I know a lot of time when you're giving out this type of information, they don't understand it. They don't understand it, and that's another thing where it's not meant for you to understand. But the generations that are out here now, is what it's a 10 or 20. It's two generations, 10, 20. It's like two,
Two
maybe three
generations.
generations.
It's
It's two.
it's 26 years since the turn of the millennium.
So you got
Two
two
generations.
generations out here, right? And
Yeah.
you listening and you watching it and you looking at them like, man, do y'all really know what's going on out here? Do you even know what you're talking about when you speak on this stuff? Like, do you have the information that it takes to speak on those topics and those subjects? You know what I mean? So, bro, until
Think
they
about the
learn how to
way language has
mobilize,
been changed since then.
yeah. But everything is on the internet, bro. The internet is telling them everything, bro. There is not they don't get nothing tangible.
They're not like developing their own skill set and building their own ability to research or anything. Everything they get is like just passed down second, third hand information.
It's all about what the internet is telling them. It's not
Yeah.
about them seeking the knowledge, doing the
Right. No,
knowledge.
no critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids can't even change a tire, dog.
Can't change the tire. They can't cook. They can't cook. They don't know how to. They don't know how to. What my mommy say, balance a checkbook.
Right.
They don't know about assets and liabilities. They don't know how to plant food. And then they want to sit around you and look at you and say that you the problem. And that's just of entitlement, man. That's the shittiest thing in the world, man. To sit around and think that you're entitled to something that you never did earn. Bitch, you barely deserve to breathe the air that you got in your lungs. Whose job is it to babysit you? Because it ain't mine. I owe nobody nothing,
That's
bro.
what puts
Everything I
us
got,
at a
I earned.
disadvantage.
I earned everything I got. I owe nobody nothing. Nothing but my mom and my family. Those are the only people I owe anything to. And y'all, that's it. That's it. Outside of that, I don't owe nobody nothing, bro.
I think that's a big part of why a lot of people out here aren't really meeting their benchmarks because they feel like somebody owed them something.
Yeah. And as long
So
as you feel
they
like
sitting around
somebody
here
owe you
waiting.
something, you'll never get to where you're supposed to be.
Bro,
Because
I
you
don't
you're
feel
being
like I'm
lazy.
old. I look at it like this. Uh, I think that in terms of like, if I got it to give, I give it. If I don't got it to give, I can't give it. I'm not going to put myself in a predicament where I can't give it, right?
That's it.
And that's information, that's monetary. Any way I can be a asset and a resource, I feel like it's my purpose as a man to be able to do that. Because the only true value in this world as a man is to be resourceful. You know what I'm saying? If you
100%.
ain't out as a man, if you out here as a man, always got your hand out, then you're not really
You're not a
meeting.
man.
You're not meeting the main
You're not a
criteria of
man.
manhood.
You're just not a man.
All right.
You're not a man. You can just say it. You know what I'm saying? You
And
old
I
enough to
think
just
that
say it.
that's where a lot of people kind of fall short. And on top of that, it's like people think that being a man is just getting money. Anybody can get money. You know what I'm saying? Money is a tool. It's not even about getting the money, bro. It's about being valuable to the tribe. If you don't bring value to the tribe, then why the fuck you here?
That's what
You
it
know what
is.
I'm saying?
That's what it boils down to. Being valuable,
Like
being instrumental
got
in the
enough
tribe.
comedians, my nigga. We got enough rappers, my nigga. We got enough this, we got enough that. But like, what are you saying or
Yes,
doing
sir.
that can add value? Like, if
Yes,
you can
sir.
be a comedian, but if through your comedy you can bring some value to the tribe, then hey, bring that shit on. But if all
Yeah.
you doing is making niggas laugh, just for the
Yeah.
sake of making niggas laugh, and that's it,
Right there. Anybody can make us laugh. The
all
fuck?
right? Like, it ain't about the levity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure, sure, bro. So to the younger generations, man, just so you know, we already know that there are going to be people in place that are going to be driving that vehicle and are going to be pushing to make things happen. But um, do you know what your involvement is going to be? Do you know your part? Do you know your position in society, in your community when this stuff starts or while it's happening right now? Because I'm quite sure it's a lot of stuff happening that y'all don't even know that y'all should actually be involved in. There's
Right.
a lot of community representation that you should be involved in. There's a lot of community election work that you should be involved in. There's a lot of things out here that you, me, and everybody else could be involved in. Just saying yeah and then be lying. No, I'm not involved. You know, there are things that you should be involved in. Do you know about food, clothing, and shelter? Do you know how to be involved in things that actually count? Because what if
I
there
think
was a
that
time where they cut these stamps off again, and
a
you
lot of
can't
people don't
use that?
understand what actionable items they could actually help contribute
Mm,
because they're so used to receiving instead of contributing. You know what I'm saying?
that's a fact.
Also, I would go as far as saying this. Like most people don't even realize how deep we are in the shit right now, bro. Like we are deep in this shit. Like we there's like I'll say this and I won't really go too deep into it because it's still a live uh event. But like there's no real way to come out of this beef with Iran without a L. Because walking away from it right now, the money is already invested and the look of it is already a stain. You see what I'm saying? We done already lost, you know what I'm saying? They already lost some soldiers and blah blah blah. But in terms of like reputation and being prestigious, that shit is a wrap on that
Mm-hmm.
side. And to
Mm-hmm.
go any further into it, to go even deeper into it, it's gonna be mass casualties.
Mm.
But meanwhile, on the inside over here in the States, we still kind of like we still bickering amongst each other over the most minuscule bullshit because by design that division keeps the rich elites pockets fat.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like if on a community level, to the point I had been making months ago about how we don't really have a real community no more. On a community level, if we don't tighten down and get our shit together, boy, we gonna be like the only the best and brightest gonna make it through, and we only 13% of this motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, and our best and brightest ain't necessary. I mean, they are who they are. They are the best and brightest, but that don't
But they
necessarily mean they
most of them
got.
motherfuckers selfish too.
Yeah, they don't mean they got your best interest in mind just because
Yeah,
they are the best and brightest of our kind from our community
right,
from our culture. That don't mean that they got your best interest in mind. You know, the people that look like you that are from where you from have more of what your interests are. The people that who are elite who made it from that circumstance or didn't come from that circumstance and don't understand what you're going through and don't need you, they could give a
right.
shit less once they start putting implementing certain things in place where you
Yep,
can't go here and you can't go here and you have to have this amount of money to get over there and you have to have that amount of money to get over there, and if you don't have it you're going to be right where you are and you'll be
right.
in a position of being expendable, you know. So it's better to be organized and come together and do those type of things. Six, man, I'm gonna end it here because I'm gonna get ready to start watching this. I need to eat to my good guy, my
All right,
G. I need to go
definitely,
ahead
bro.
and eat. Anything you need to say before we get off here?
Nah, bro, I appreciate the convo.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. More to come on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, that's another episode of the Link Up where we sync up and drink up. I ain't do much of that except for with some water because that's all I need on this time around. Six, appreciate you, love you, brother.
I'm here, brother.
Yep. And
Peace.
as always, remember the mission statement when you striving for greatness. God never puts you in a driver's seat if it's taken. Y'all be safe out there. Enjoy y'all life. Love on the people that love on y'all. Respect to everybody. Integrity, dignity. Salute.